Just a brief disclaimer before I start this video. This video is in no way, shape, or form hating Zamination or SMG4. Please do not harass any of the individuals mentioned in this video. Thank you. I want to make this video separate from my analysis of Mr. Weapons and SMG4 2025 because this just came up. Zamination, partners with Glitch Productions, have just announced a new series called Calling All Villains, a series starring none other than Mr. Puzzles. And I'm anything but excited. A few weeks ago, Zamination came out with an announcement video and a teaser trailer for a new series promising to bring back everyone's favorite villain. However, despite the hype, I couldn't help but feel concerned. Mr. Puzzles has gone through a lot since his debut in 2024, and my opinions of the character have shifted since. So, I wanted to make a video going over the concerns I and maybe you have, and discussing if these concerns are justified or not. Zam is one of the most prominent animators on YouTube, specializing in Minecraft animations. If you're anything like me, you probably grew up with some of their videos, such as their prominent Minecraft YouTuber animations or their direction and music videos. However, they are probably best known for their famous and infamous animated series, Fazbear and Friends. The reason I say infamous was that for a time, Fazbear and Friends was a content farm, and a really big one at that. It got to the point that Zam retired the series themselves, as even they were tired of making slop content. In actuality, they were in a rough relationship with another prominent studio, Enchanted Mob, and since then have made massive improvements. Not only did they go back to their roots, making incredibly well-animated music videos, but they even revived Fazbear and Friends and gave it the best comeback ever. Zamination aren't amateurs either. They've been animating videos for over a decade, and what they showed off is so smooth. Although they had a rough history of Minecraft animations, they are certainly the right studio. Even if they're no longer a content farm, they do target a kid to pre-teenish audience. On the one hand, Mr. Puzzles and SMG4 is not something I would show to kids. The language and memes used aren't excessively inappropriate as they were, but it's still something I'd be uncomfortable showing kids. Let alone, the stories told in SMG4 are rather mature, ranging excessively in the themes they present. On the other hand, I began watching SMG4 when I was in 4th and 5th grade, before becoming a permanent viewer in the 6th grade. So in many ways, this is the right audience to introduce Puzzles to, even if he might be a lot more lighthearted than before. This isn't the Zam brothers' first rodeo with Mr. Puzzles. The Zam team were brought in during 2024 for his debut and subsequent arcs. However, they weren't there to see what made him tick. What do I mean? What made Mr. Puzzles so prominent in the first place was his build-up during 2023, which I'd argue was essential to his major success. They weren't there for that. From what I've heard, I think one of the Zam brothers admitted he didn't know where the original Puzzles jingle came from. However, I'm not going to throw them under the bus. It's not their fault that the SMG4 team decided to bring back Mr. Puzzles to meet fan demand, which unfortunately led to very rushed and unpolished arcs, such as the Meme Factory and Puzzle Park arcs. They grew as writers, and definitely proved when they could actually take their time, as seen by the Guns and Puzzles and Watfi 2025 arcs, which were some of the best installments in the series, so I won't put bringing Mr. Puzzles back prematurely over their heads. That being said though,
you almost woke the baby.
One of the biggest consistencies I saw in the responses to my critique of Mr. Puzzles was how everyone was collectively getting tired of him, and I see why. Mr. Puzzles was the main focus for the entirety of 2024, and after his initial debut, his arcs would run in circles, promising growth but never letting him grow due to the writers stunting him in order for him to remain a villain. People definitely got fed up with it. myself included. This is why the Watfi 2025 arc was amazing. It broke this cycle, finally letting the character grow and concluding his story. What I'm getting at here is that there's only so much to tell. We've seen him as a mastermind, an empathetic villain, a broken villain, a conflicted villain, before he reached his conclusion. It wasn't perfect, but it got the job done. Bringing him back again for the third time? It doesn't feel right. The best way I can put this is that seeing Mr. Puzzles is a treat, like ice cream. But if you have ice cream constantly, it loses its sweetness and becomes bland. That's why I'm concerned. Mr. Puzzles wouldn't just go bland, but the writing behind him too. As much hype as there is, I'm hoping we aren't oversaturating the character. In their announcement, they said you didn't have to watch SMG4 to jump into the series. However, for returning fans, there are still plenty of nods to the SMG4 series. This is both reassuring and concerning. On the one hand, this means they can take the character, water him down to his core character, ignore all his growth that happened to SMG4, and just run off with him. On the other hand, this does mean that they may keep the growth he already has, and just put him in some new scenario. This concern may or may not come to fruition, so we'll just have to wait and see. My final concern is a personal one, as it applies to me just as much as it may for you guys. Will our personal bias of the character impact our experiences? My relationship with the character has been, again, a roller coaster. It's had its highs, its lows, but it came to a satisfying conclusion. If you made it this far into the video, you can tell I want to like the series. We have no reason not to like it, and I've definitely warmed up to it. But I can't help but feel as though I'm bracing myself for nothing. So that's why I'm including this. To those of us who are skeptical, don't set the bar too low. Try to approach the series with an open mind. You may be happily surprised. To those of us who are excited, hold your horses. It's clear that this is going to be a departure from what we're used to, so don't set the bar too high or you may be incredibly disappointed. At the end of the day, SMG4 was the one who approached Zam to make the series, not the other way around. SMG4 has explicitly stated that he trusts Zam, and if he trusts them, then maybe we should too. I'm sure as time passes and we see more of the show, these concerns will hopefully fade away. All of this just leaves one last question. Where the hell is Mr. Weapons?